First of all, thanks for being here in my YouTube channel. So in this lesson number 6 on the topic clock, now we are going to solve 4 to 5 questions based on the concept called loss or gain. So friends, if you are preparing for any high level competitive exams, for example, if you are preparing for GATE exam or else if you are preparing for CAT exams, definitely you should learn this lesson number 6, or else you can't able to solve a question in the exams, because this lesson number 6 is the most important lesson in the topic clock for all the high level competitive exams. If you are preparing some low level for central government or state level government exam, this is needed, but you don't want to practice that much tough level questions. But if you are preparing for CAT exam, GATE exam or any high level competitive exams, kindly prepare medium level question as well as very high level question in this lesson number 6 clock. That is based on clock either loses some time or else the clock will gain some time. So based on those concepts, try to practice more and more number of questions, right? So friends, now I am going to solve not the toughest question. I am going to solve only easy to medium level questions, because if you are a beginner, you should learn first of all the basics, and then after learning the basics, you too can able to solve all the tough level questions. So friends, before solving a question, first let me learn some of the important points, so that if you learn all those important points, then solving a question will be easy. So another important thing is, when compare this lesson to all the previous lesson, so this lesson is completely different, because this lesson does not require any formula or any other techniques, nothing. Just you need to think logically and you need to solve the question. That's it, right? Previous lesson we would have learned some important note and we would have learned theta is equal to 30h. We have learned most of the things in previous lesson. There are something to buy out like formulas, etc. But in this lesson number 6, there is nothing to learn. Only thing is you need to read the question and you need to solve the question logically. That's it. It will be very easy. But few points are most important before solving a question. So let me learn all the few points, right? So point number 1, clock gains 5 minutes in every hour. So you know what is the meaning of it? The clock is gaining 5 minutes in every hour. So every hour the clock is gaining 5 minutes. So what we can do is, let me take example, right? The clock is set at 5 a.m. We can assume that if it is a 5 a.m., then we can say this hour hand will point exactly at 5 and the minute hand will point exactly at 12. So now the clock points at 5 a.m. Exact time is 5 a.m. or 5 o'clock, right? Let me keep it as 5 o'clock. Now what they are saying is, the clock gains 5 minutes every hour. So in the next hour, right? In next hour, the clock will usually show only 6 o'clock, right? The next hour will be 6 o'clock and another next hour will be 7 o'clock and next hour will be 8. It goes on, right? This is the exact right clock. But here what they are saying is, the clock is gaining 5 minutes in every hour, which means in 1 hour, right? In 1 hour, the clock is gaining 5 more minutes. So here you can say the wrong clock will show the time as 6:05. Got the logic, right? So let me take this as an example. First, initially the clock is showing 5 o'clock. After 1 hour, the right clock should show 6 o'clock, right? But here what they are saying is, the clock gains 5 minutes in every hour. So the meaning is, in 1 hour, in the next hour, the clock has to show 6 o'clock. But here the clock gained 5 minutes. So the clock will show the time as 6:05. Understood the logic or not, right? Hour hand and a minute hand, right? 6:05. And in the next hour, the right clock will show 7 o'clock, but the wrong clock will show, the clock will show 7:10, because it has gained another 5 minutes, right? In another next hour, we can say it has gained another 5 minutes, it will be 8:15. It goes on. Understood this logic? For every hour, right? For every hour, the clock is gaining 5 minutes. So we have set a time as 5 o'clock. So in 6 o'clock, it will gain 5 minutes. It will be 6:05. But the right clock will show 6 o'clock. But the wrong clock is showing 6:05. Similarly, in the next hour, the right clock will show 7 o'clock. But here the wrong clock will show 7:10. Why? Because it has gained another 5 minutes. So already it has gained 5 minutes. So another 5 will be 10. So another 5 will be 15. So another 5 will be 20. It goes on, right? Every hour the clock is gaining 5 minutes. Similarly, in case if they have given clock is losing, for example, we can say if clock loses 5 minutes in every hour, then what you need to do is you need to subtract 5 minutes. In the next hour, the clock will be showing 5:55. Understood? If it gains 5 minutes, then the clock will show 6:05. If the clock loses 5 minutes in 1 hour, then the clock will show 5:55, not 6 o'clock. Because in 1 hour, the right time is 6 o'clock, but the clock is losing 5 minutes. So the exact time will be 5:55. Understood? So in every hour, the next hour you need to subtract 5 and another 5. So it goes on. If the clock is losing, then we need to subtract the minutes. If the clock is gaining, we need to add the minutes. That's it, right? So while solving a question, you can able to understand it easily, but before solving it, you should know what is called as gain and what is called as loss, right? So this is the first important note you should remember while solving a question. So let me move on to the second note. So second note. So here I have given some example numbers. So 23 1/3 hours. So similarly 45 4/5 hours. So let me take an example, right? So here, if we need to convert this number in terms of hours as well as minutes, right? Just listen here. They have given a number completely in terms of hours, right? Not in minutes. In case if you need to convert this answer in terms of hours as well as minutes. So how to convert this? Just see here, 45 4/5 hours. So here the 45 is an integer. So let me keep 45 as it is. So 45 hours. And then here we are getting a fraction as 4/5. We know that in order to convert hour into minute, you need to multiply by 60 because 1 hour will be 60 minutes. So here 4/5 hours. So 4/5 into 60. So cancel it. 1 5s are 5. 12 5s are 60. So 12 into 4 will be 48. So now we can say answer as 45 hour 48 minutes. So friends, understood, right? So 12 into 4 will be 45. So finally we have converted the given number in terms of hours as well as minutes. So keep the integer value as it is. Convert the fraction 4/5 into minutes. Because you know for 1 hour it will be 60 minutes. So multiply by 60 to this fraction number, you can able to get the answer in terms of hours as well as minutes. So let me take another example question. So 23 1/3 hours. So what is the first step? So keep the integer number as it is. So 23. Now convert the fraction term in terms of minutes. So 1/3 into 60. Got it? So you need to multiply by 60. So into 60. 1 3s are 3. 20 times. So finally we can say keep the integer as it is. 23 hours. This will be 20 minutes. So finally we converted the complete number hours into hours as well as minutes. Understood? So this will be the answer. Because sometimes most of the students will make a mistake on all those areas. So that's the reason I thought of teaching this earlier. Understood? So these are the two important notes. It's more than enough to solve a question. So again I am saying we are not going to solve any tough level question. We are going to solve only easy to medium level question, because if you are a beginner, it will be very useful. So in the future videos like 8th lesson or 9th lesson, there I can teach you some of the tough level question for CAT exams as well as GATE exams. Question number 1. Akash saw the clock when it was set right at 8 a.m. The clock gains 5 minutes in every hour. So what time will it shows at 8 p.m. on the same day? So first let me understand the question. So initially Akash is seeing the clock where it was set right time at 8 a.m. So at 8 a.m. the clock was set right. So after that, for every hour the clock gains 5 minutes. So our target to find what time will it shows at 8 p.m. on the same day, not on the next day, on the same day. Understood? So just see here, you can solve the question logically without pen and paper. It is easy, but initially if you are a beginner, try to write like this and then solve. But after solving over 30 to 40 questions, kindly don't use pen and paper. Try to solve in your mind itself, because these are the easy level question can logically solve in the mind itself. Understood? So let me take example, right? We can solve this. So initially 8 a.m. right? Okay. So morning 8 a.m. the clock was set right, and for every hour the clock gains 5 minutes. So where we can say that in 9 a.m. right, after 1 hour, the right clock will show 9 a.m. But here the wrong clock is gaining 5 minutes for every hour. So here the clock will show 9:05. Understood? So because it gains 5 minutes in every hour. So next hour it will be 10 a.m. But the wrong clock will show 10:10 a.m. because already here the clock is gaining 5 minutes. So another 5 minutes, another 5 minutes, it goes on till 8 p.m. So what you need to do is you don't want to write all these steps, right? Because it is not required. You know, the clock gains 5 minutes in every hour. So what we can do is between 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. because our target to find at what time will it shows on 8 p.m. on the same day. So between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. what is the difference? So the total difference is 12 hours. Yes, for 1 hour, just listen here, for 1 hour the clock is gaining 5 minutes. So we can say for 12 hours, how much it will gain? 12 into 5 will be 60 minutes is gained. So finally we can say the right clock will show 8 p.m. But now the wrong clock will show because it has gained another 60 minutes. So the wrong clock will show 9 p.m. Understood? So answer for the question is 9 p.m. Understood the logic or not? So right clock will show 8 p.m. But here this wrong clock is gaining 5 minutes for every hour. So after 12 hours, this clock will gain 60 more minutes. So the right clock will show 8 p.m. But here the wrong clock will show 9 p.m. Understood? So answer for question number 1 is 9 p.m. Question number 2. So if a clock gains 5 minutes every hour and it's set correctly at 5 a.m. then what time will it shows at 10 a.m. at the same day? So here you can see the clock is set correctly at 5 a.m. and for every hour the clock is gaining 5 minutes. So you can say 5 a.m. the clock is set correctly. Remember that this AM PM plays a major role in these types of questions, right? So here our target to find at 5 a.m. After this 5 a.m. the clock is gaining 5 minutes in every hour. So our target to find what time will it shows at 10 a.m. right? 10 a.m. So now what is the difference? So 5 a.m. 10 a.m. So difference will be 5 hours. So for 1 hour we know that the clock gained 5 minutes. So for 5 hours the clock will be gaining 5 into 5 will be 25 minutes. So finally for the 5 hours, difference 5 hours, the clock has gained 25 minutes more. So actually the right clock will show 10 a.m. but here the wrong clock will show 10:25 a.m. Understood? Why? Because the clock has gained 25 minutes more. So finally we can say the answer for question number 2 is 10:25. Easy or not, right? First our target to find what is the difference are, and for 1 hour how much the clock is gain or loses. So after finding it, find for the total hours and then add or subtract based on the question. It's easy, right? So this will be the answer for question number 2. Question number 3. So Raju observed that a watch loses 5 seconds in 1 hour, which was set right at 7 a.m. What time will it shows 2 p.m. on the same day? So just listen here, at 7 a.m. the clock was set correctly at 7 a.m. So after 7 a.m. where the clock loses 5 seconds, not minutes, right? So 5 seconds for every 1 hour. So our target to find at what time the clock will shows 2 p.m. on the same day. So 2 p.m. So 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the same day, not on the next day. They have asked a question on the same day. Just listen here, for 1 hour, right? For 1 hour, how much the clock loses? 5 seconds. Yes, 5 seconds. So now our target to find the difference. So 7 a.m. will be morning, 2 p.m. will be afternoon. So 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. what is the difference? 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m. So the total difference will be 7 hours. So for 1 hour the clock loses 5 seconds. So for 7 hour will be 7 into 5 is equals to 35 seconds the clock loses. Got it? The clock is lagging 35 seconds when compared to the right time. So here our target to find what time the clock shows at 2 p.m. Actually the right clock will show 2 p.m. right? But now the wrong clock is lagging, which loses, right? The wrong clock loses 35 seconds. So now what is the exact time the clock will show? 1 o'clock 59 minutes, because it loses 35 seconds. So if it loses 35 seconds will be 25. Got it? So 25 seconds, this will be minute and this will be hour. So finally answer for third question is 1 hour 59 minute 25 seconds. The clock will show the time at 2 p.m. Got the logic, friends? So previous question we have added the number. Why? Because the clock gains. But here in this question the clock loses 5 seconds. So for 7 hours the clock will loses 35 seconds. So the right clock will show 2 p.m. but the wrong clock will lag 35 seconds because it is lagging 35 seconds from the right clock. So we can say we need to subtract 35 here. So 1 hour, 1 o'clock, 59 minutes, 25 seconds. So this will be the answer for question number 3. Question number 4. A clock is set correctly at 1 p.m. If it loses 3 minutes every hour, what will be the clock show when the correct time is 10 a.m. on the next day? Just listen here. Initially the clock is set correctly at 1 p.m. right? So for every hour the clock is losing how much minutes? 3 minutes. So our target to find what time will the clock show when the correct time is at 10 a.m. on the next day. So next day 10 a.m. our target to find what is the time that was shown by the clock. So starting from 1 p.m. to the next day 10 a.m. not on the same day, next day 10 a.m. So and for every hour the clock is losing 3 minutes. Understood? So what we can do is for 1 p.m. so 1 p.m. will be afternoon, right? So from afternoon to the next day early morning 1 a.m. it will be 12 hours difference. Yes or no? 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. will be 12 hour difference. So another to 10 a.m. so we need to add another 9 hours. So totally 12 hour plus 9 hour, the difference will be 21 hours. So finally we can say that from 1 p.m. to 10 a.m. the difference will be 21 hours. Got it? So what I have calculated initially is 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. So 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. will be 12 hours. So 1 a.m. to 10 a.m. difference is 9 hours. So 12 hour, 9 hour, total hours will be 21 hours. And for every 1 hour, the clock is losing 3 minutes. So for 21 hours, how much the clock loses will be 63 minutes. So the clock is totally lagging from the right clock, that is 63 minutes. So we can say in other words that clock loses 63 minutes in this complete 21 hours. So the right clock will show 10 a.m. but now the wrong clock has loses 63 minutes. So you need to subtract 63. So first if you subtract 60 minutes will be 9 o'clock and subtract 3 minutes will be 8 o'clock 57 a.m. So this will be the answer for question number 4. Understood? The right clock will show 10 a.m. but the wrong clock is losing 63 minutes. So if you subtract 63 minutes from 10 a.m. so initially if you can't able to directly subtract 63 minutes, subtract like this. First subtract 60 minutes. So 60 minutes is 1 hour. If you subtract 1 hour will be 9 a.m. So still 3 minutes is remaining. So from 9 a.m. subtract 3 minutes will be 8 o'clock 57 a.m. Understood? So this will be the answer for question number 4. Question number 5. A watch loses 5 seconds in every hour. The watch was set correctly on Wednesday 6:30 a.m. So what time did it shows at 6:30 a.m. in the next Wednesday? So the gap is 7 days, right? So initially what they are saying is the clock was set right at 6:30 a.m. and what they have given us our target to find what time the clock shows on the next Wednesday. So remember that how much gap? 7 days difference, right? Not 7 hours difference, 7 days difference. So our target to find same time at 6:30 a.m. what time the clock shows. Just listen here, a watch loses 5 seconds for every hour. So for every 1 hour the clock is losing 5 seconds. We can calculate for 1 day how much the clock loses. Just listen carefully. For 1 hour the clock is losing 5 seconds. Then we can say that for 24 hours, for 1 day, how much the clock loses. So 24 into 5 will be 120 seconds. So 120 second is nothing but 60 seconds will be 1 minute. So 120 second will be 2 minutes. So for 2 minutes. So here we can say that for every 1 day, the complete 1 day, the clock is losing 2 minutes. So our target to find from this Wednesday to the next Wednesday will be 7 days difference. For every 1 day the clock is losing 2 minutes. For the complete 7 day, how much the clock loses will be 14 minutes. The clock will be lagging. Understood? The clock loses 14 minutes for 7 days. So the right clock will show 6:30 a.m. but the wrong clock losing 14 minutes. So here you can say the wrong clock will show 6. So subtract 14 here, which will be 16. So finally the wrong clock will show the time as 6 hours 16 a.m. So this will be the answer for question number 5. Understood? So the right time will be 6:30 a.m. but here the clock is lagging. The clock loses 14 minutes for the total 7 days. So it's running 14 minutes slower, right? So if you subtract 14 here, this will be 16. So finally we can say that on the next Wednesday, the same 6:30 a.m. the clock will not show 6:30, the clock will show 6:16 a.m. So this will be the answer for question number 5. Last 6th question. A watch gains 5 seconds in 3 minutes was set right at 6 a.m. So what time will it shows at 8 p.m. on the same day? So just here the watch was set correctly at 6 a.m. So our target to find what is the time that was shown by the watch on the next day, right? On the same day, that is 8 p.m. And what they are saying is a watch gains 5 seconds in 3 minutes, not loses. This question is based on gain. So 5 seconds the clock is gaining in 3 minutes. Just listen carefully, most important. So for 3 minutes the clock is gaining 5 seconds. So for complete 60 minutes, how much we can find for 1 hour, right? Because they have given in terms of minutes and seconds. We can convert the value in terms of 1 hour. So if you need to convert this value into 1 hour, you need to multiply by 20 because 60 minutes will be 1 hour. So if we multiply this by 20, similarly multiply this by 20. So finally we can say that for 1 hour the clock will gains 100 seconds. So friends, got the logic, right? For every 3 minutes the clock is gaining 5 seconds. So I have converted this complete value in terms of hours. So 3 minutes, in order to convert into complete 1 hour, I need to multiply by 20. So similarly multiply by this 20. So 5 into 20 will be 100 seconds. So finally I can say that for every 1 hour the clock gains 100 seconds. I think I don't want to convert into minutes. I can keep the value as it is. Finally I can convert into minutes. Now just see the difference. 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. So first 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. will be 12 hours. Then 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. will be another 2 hours. So 12 hours plus 2 hours will be 14 hours difference. So here you can say 14 hours. So 14 hours will be different, and we know that for every 1 hour the clock is gaining 100 seconds. So for 14 hours the clock will gain 1400 seconds. So friends, understood? For every 1 hour 100 second gain. So for complete 14 hours difference, so 14 into 100 will be 1400 seconds the clock will gain. So now convert this seconds in terms of minutes, right? So how to convert this in terms of minutes? Just divide by 60. So if you divide by 60, cancel 0 and 0. So 140 divided by 60. So 140 divided by 6. So 6 2s are 12. So remainder will be 20. So 6 3s are 18. So remainder will be 2. So finally this can be written as 23 2 by 6 minutes. So friends, understood how I convert this, right? So just divide by 60 in order to convert into minutes. So finally we got 23 2 by 6 minutes. Just now in the beginning I have told you how to write this sentence properly, right? So in the beginning I have told you in terms of hours, right? Here in terms of minutes, no problem, the same way. So keep the integer as it is, 23 minutes. So convert this 2 by 6 into seconds. So 2 by 6 into 60. So if you multiply this 2 by 6 into 60, you can cancel 6 and 60 10 times. So 10 into 2 will be 20 seconds. Understood? So 23 minutes, 20 seconds, the total clock gains. So what is our target? Our target to find what does the clock shows at 8 p.m. So the right clock will show 8 p.m. but the wrong clock has gained 23 minutes 20 seconds more. So the clock answer will be 8 o'clock 23 minutes 20 seconds. So the clock will show this timing at 8 p.m. So this will be the answer for last sixth question. Understood this logic, right? So initially I have divided this seconds in order to convert into minute. I have divided by 60. So finally we got an answer in the improper fraction. So in the beginning of this video I have told you how to convert this value. So 23, so keep this integer as it is, 23 minutes. So convert this fraction term in terms of seconds. Just multiply by 60. So 2 by 6 into 60. So we can cancel 6 and 60 10 times. So 10 into 2 will be 20 seconds. So finally we can say that the clock totally gains 23 minutes 20 seconds. So initially our target to find what time the clock shows at 8 p.m. So this will be the right time where the clock shows, but the wrong clock is gaining 23 minutes 20 seconds more. So we can say 8 o'clock 23 minutes 20 seconds will be the answer for the last sixth question. So friends, finally in this lesson we have solved 6 questions. Again I am saying we have solved only easy to medium level questions. There are much tough level questions can be asked in this same lesson, that is loss or gain. So only if you practice more than 30 to 40 questions like this basic level questions, only then you can able to solve at least a medium to high level question, or else you can't. So that's the only reason I have taught you some easy to medium level questions in this video. So in the next or 8th or 9th lesson, surely I will teach you some of the toughest questions. So thank you so much for watching this video, and if you really like it, share it to your friends, those who are preparing for the competitive exams. So thank you so much. Bye.